Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with the beautiful Karina, my beautiful wife from beautiful Venezuela. And we went through the K1 visa process like you guys, and we took about 22 months for Karina to get here in America. Her NOA 1 letter was April 18th, 2022. Her NOA 2 letter was May 30th, 2023. Scheduled the visa interview September 16th, 2024. Completed a 221G Interpol police certificate, and we left for the United States from Bogota, Colombia to Miami on January 3rd, 2024. And Karina is going to help Tokyo find somewhere else to hang out because he won't be quiet. There you go. So we're doing a surprise live stream, guys. It's March 14th, 2024, and I'm getting questions about biometrics. Biometrics. How does the biometrics work? Okay. When you apply for the K1 visa, and when you get to the visa interview stage, you pay for the visa interview, or actually you're paying for the consular interview, and you're paying for the biometrics. It's $265. You can pay by credit card, or you can pay at the bank in the home country, or you can pay at the embassy. It depends on the ambassador and how he runs his or her embassy. So you pay for the biometrics when you apply for the K1, when you schedule the visa interview. Now, what happens? How do you apply for the biometrics when you go apply for the green card? Well, when you adjust your status to green card, right? You adjust your status for green card. You write a check for $1,225, which is going to change April 1st, 2024. The price goes up. But you write a check to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, and you pay for your green card application and your biometrics. When you apply for the green card, immigration will send you a letter telling you where your biometrics is going to be at. So when you go to the visa interview, when you do the K1 visa interview, you schedule the biometrics, Mr. Sponsor, Ms. Sponsor, beneficiary. When you apply for the green card, immigration schedules the biometrics interview. And that's the big difference between the two. Kaur, I got my letter for biometrics, and it was the same day as appointment was scheduled, so it was passed. What are next steps? So what are the next steps for what? You did your biometrics. You went to an appointment. What appointment? You went to what kind of appointment? You went to a K1 visa. What did you do? I don't understand the question. Are you adjusting status to green card? Are you applying? Did you go to biometrics for your K1 visa? Well, you got to give me a little bit more information so I understand what you're asking me. Ross Lee and Melissa. Hello, Diego and Karina. What's going on, Ross Lee? Abdul Wahab Kanu. How paper to apply for the adjustment of status? So you're asking, how do you adjust your status to green card holder? Well, I've made videos about how to do it. If you go into the channel, like type in Diego Ross adjustment of status, watch the video. It will tell you how to apply for a green card. It's very in-depth, and it's about 20-30 minutes long. But if you watch it, it's free. And you don't have to pay an immigration attorney $4,000 or I don't know how much they charge to apply to do the paperwork for a green card. It could be anywhere from like $1,000, $2,000. But if you watch the video, it doesn't cost you a penny. And you have to, once you get married and you enter the United States of America, go run down to the Social Security office, get your Social Security card, and apply for your green card. All right, that's what you do. What papers are required? Well, you got to have the USCIS form I-485, the affidavit of support USCIS form 864. You need to include your medical exam, USCIS form 693. You include your vaccinations. You got to include the marriage certificate, wedding pictures, honeymoon pictures. It's a lot. There's a lot involved in applying for a green card. If you do it right, if you watch the video that I've made for you guys, if you do it right, you'll get it done without an RFE. Kawura, I didn't know there was an appointment for adjustment of status biometrics. I got it after I scheduled. Oh yeah, now I understand. When you apply for your green card, Okay, when you apply for your green card, you write a check for $1,225 as of March 14th, 2024. When you apply for your green card, you will get a letter from immigration telling you, Mr. Beneficiary, Miss Beneficiary, where your biometrics is going to be, what time and what day. Like for Karina, my beautiful wife, she will probably be going to New Orleans for her biometrics. New Orleans in Louisiana. We live in Florida. So it's, we're going to drive from Florida to Alabama to Mississippi to Louisiana, spend the night in New Orleans, do the biometrics, and come back home. It's that easy. Babahan Korbanov, DS3025 with the signature of panel physician. Do you still have to do medical exam? Because I did go to the hospital where they do immigration. She said if panel is physician signed it. Okay, when you apply for a green card, I strongly recommend you include in your green card application Form 693 plus your vaccination documents. Okay? Yeah, you had your medical exam in Colombia, in Uruguay, in Kenya, Nairobi, Philippines, Nigeria, Ghana, wherever it is, Guyana, wherever you had your medical exam. That's all well and good, and you got through the K1 visa part. But the immigration folks, when you apply for the green card, they want to see the medical exam too. Okay? Yeah, you'll be okay, Babahan. You're perfectly fine. Just make sure you include a medical exam in a sealed envelope in your green card application so you don't get an RFE. Some immigration officers are looking for this. Some say, okay, well, you had your medical exam in Bogota. Okay, we got your vaccination documents. We'll let you go with that. But some don't. It's like playing a crap game in Las Vegas. Julian ALO. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Ross. How are you? Julian, we're good. Now, didn't you just get your K1 visa approved? Didn't you just get an approval? You did, right? That's good. And aren't you a refugee living in another country? You got out of one country and relocated to another country as a refugee, went to the K1 visa interview. Now you're approved. Now you're just waiting on some paperwork, but you're just waiting on the embassy to give you directions on how to fly to the United States. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ross Lee, does the medical exam here need to be sealed as well? Most definitely. Must it be from an approved doctor or clinic? Yes, indeed. When you have your medical exam for your K1 visa or for your green card, you must get the medical exam adjudicated by a doctor, aka civil surgeon, authorized by the U.S. State Department. The U.S. State Department will tell the doctor, these are the requirements for the green card. These are the requirements for the K1 visa. That's what you must do. Okay? Got to be authorized. How do I select the approved clinic? How do you select the approved clinic? Where are you at? What are you doing? Where are you? Are you trying to schedule the K1 visa interview? Are you trying to schedule the medical exam for the K1 visa? Yeah, I know you're in Miami, but which country? What country? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to repeat the medical exam for the green card application? That's what you're trying to do, right? If you are trying to schedule a medical exam for the green card application, Google. Yeah, okay. So I'm pretty much on my game here. What you need to do is Google civil surgeon Miami USCIS. Go on to Google and Google civil surgeon Miami USCIS, and that will give you a list of doctors approved by the State Department to give your beneficiary, your new wife, repeat the medical exam. And it shouldn't cost that much. I mean, Karina's going to investigate Tokyo, our cat, because he just won't shut up. He's just whining like a little baby. And here he is, Tokyo. Tokyo wants to be part of the show. So here he is. He's crying and whining because he wants to play outside, but he can't play outside because we're here doing a live stream. But when we go outside, he can go outside with us and relax. Right, Tokyo? Okay, you go play. There you go. So, yeah, if you're in Miami, Google civil surgeon, USCIS, Miami, and you will find a doctor authorized by the State Department to conduct medical exams for green cards. Go to that doctor, pay the doctor whatever it costs, get your vaccinations recertified, get the medical exam recertified on a Form 693. The civil surgeon in Miami, the doctor in Miami will know to use Form 693, okay? And include it in your green card application. Don't mail off a green card application without a medical exam and a vaccination certification, okay? Just my opinion. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to save you guys from a big headache. Curly Locks, man, I love that name. Curly Locks. But if you already were vaccinated for the K1 and came to the USA, you don't have to get another medical exam. Okay, what have I just been telling you guys? What have I just said? When you get to America, okay, include in your green card application a medical exam signed by a civil surgeon in a sealed envelope, Form 693, plus the vaccination documents. Do you have to repeat all the vaccinations? No, you don't repeat the vaccinations. You just prove that you got them done and that you have the doctor sign off and say, okay, you're good to go. When Karina came to the United States, we landed in Miami. We drove from Miami to here. We're close to Pensacola. First thing I did was call the doctor up in Pensacola and say, hey, you are an authorized civil surgeon, authorized by the State Department to conduct medical exams for green cards, correct? Yes, I am. Okay, great. The doctor's assistant sent me an email. Diego, I need proof of your wife's vaccinations. So I got copies of all of her vaccinations from Bogota, Colombia, and I emailed them to the doctor's assistant. The doctor's assistant looked at the vaccinations and said, she's good to go. She's good. Karina's got all of her vaccinations. She is perfectly great. When do you want to, and then when do you want to schedule the medical exam? I said, okay, sometime in January. So we scheduled the medical exam for Karina for the green card. We drove over to Pensacola. The doctor repeated the medical exam, signed off on the Form 693, signed off on the vaccination documents, and gave us a white envelope that was sealed that said to USCIS Homeland Security, do not open, and the back was taped up, okay? And we included that in her green card application. So now I don't have to worry about Karina getting an RFE for a medical exam. Don't have to worry about it. I don't have to wait for the embassy in Bogota, Colombia to mail the medical exam to Chicago. I don't have to wait for the Border Patrol officer to mail her medical exam to Chicago if he got it. I don't have to worry about that. I repeated the whole medical exam. I got everything completed for her, for Karina. So when immigration, when they opened up her green card application, they looked at it. Boom, I got a text message, good to go. Wait for your hard copy NOA1 letter for your green card application. The letter, we got to wait for the letter now. And then the biometrics. So we didn't get any problems. And they have her medical exam in their hand. So I didn't get any problems with that. But you don't have to repeat the vaccinations, guys. You just got to repeat the medical exam and prove that you are medically qualified. Obviously, you are to get to the country because you had an exam overseas. But repeat it. Immigration, these guys are getting strict, okay? They're getting stricter and stricter. Repeat the medical exam is my recommendation. Tad Nomad, you have a beautiful wife. Absolutely, I do. I'm very lucky to have Karina. I'm very lucky. I tell you, God was looking out for me. And I'm glad that, I tell you, I'm lucky. Let me see. Julian, ALO, yes, you are right. They sent an email today saying I have to fill a form and ask for a travel agency, like a booking, a flight that explains all the transits, so they make it mandatory for me. That's what I said was going to happen, right? Because you're a refugee. You're a refugee. You got out of this country because it was a bad country. The people are good, but the government sucks, right? You moved into this country and you got an approved K1 and you got a little nervous because you said that they sent you a 221G. Well, That was because they're going to give you directions on how to fly to the United States. They're going to control the flight for you to protect you because you're a refugee, right? Isn't that what I said? And it came true, didn't it? It came true. Everything I said came true. And they said, if you have a problem, don't hesitate to call 911. Now, you just jump on the YouTube channel if you got questions, and I'll answer your questions. You don't have to call 911 with an immigration question. I'll help you. We can't wait for you to get to the United States. Curly Locks, I just came into the live stream. No worries, Curly Locks. Come on. We're trying to get this cat settled out. Tokyo. He's having a bad hair day. He won't calm down. It's the middle of the day. I'm doing a live stream, and Tokyo's like, hey, what's up with that? You're supposed to be playing with me in the garden. And Fat Nomad, how did we meet? Well, we met online, and then I flew to Colombia, and we met for the first time in Bogota. I went for a 2-week vacation to Bogota to see Karina, and I stayed 5 weeks. And Karina didn't want me to leave. So I had to come back to the States. So I came back to the States, and I flew back. And I stayed for 5 months in Bogota, 5 months. And then I came back and flew back again and stayed 11 months. Then I came back to the United States, and then I stayed a year. I mean, my visa ran out in Colombia. The Colombian government was like, hey, Diego, come on, man. Your visa's used up already, all right? Then I came back and helped Karina with her visa process and stayed 3 more months, and here we are. Julian, on his window, he kept asking the same question several times. Yeah, he's strict. You're an asylum. You got asylum. They're going to be stricter. I don't know about in the United States, but they were in your country where you were. And was answering the same things. Then he said, the pamphlet we gave you, if you have a problem, right, don't hesitate to call 911. Julian, if you get a problem once you get to America, jump on the live stream and I'll help you, okay? Stephen Baldwin, the civil surgeon in Poland, said, my fiance cannot get the COVID vaccine. Will this be an issue for the adjustment of status? Yes, it will be. You got to have a COVID vaccination to get a green card. Okay, got to have a COVID vaccination to get a green card. But if the civil surgeon in Poland writes a letter stating there is a medical reason why your beneficiary cannot have the COVID vaccination, it would be dangerous to her health. If there's a reason why, he needs to write a letter, explain it, and then you can include that in your green card application and hope immigration don't send you an RFE telling you to get a COVID vaccination. That's the only way I can answer that question. Julian ALO, he gave a yellow paper that says 221G, and I was worried. No. A 221G means that you're under further administrative action. And when you got worried, I told you that administrative action was because you were an asylum seeker, you were a refugee from another country. The U.S. government's taking care of you. They're going to help you with your flight to the United States. They're going to figure it out for you, so you don't have any worries. Okay, that's all it was. But hopefully you understood what I was telling you. You just relax, okay? Thai Nomad, my girlfriend is 14 years younger than me. Okay, I'm a tad nervous about the U.S. Embassy not wanting to ask any further questions if they ask her my age. Age is irrelevant. Immigration don't care how old you are, how old your beneficiary is, as long as there's a strong relationship. Okay? If you guys have been dating dating each other for a year, you've made 2 or 3 trips to see her, you spent time with her, she knows everything about you, you know everything about her, you know everything about everything. That's all immigration cares about. All right? My friend, he's a doctor. He lives in New York City now. He used to live here in Florida. Then he moved to California. Then he moved to New York City. He married a lady from Colombia, from Medellin. He is now 70 years old, and she is 35 years old. So age isn't a big deal. All right. What's the problem is the relationship. Now they dated each other for 10 years. He had 10 years worth of evidence that they were together for 10 years. Plane tickets, vacations, all that jazz. He got approved right away. Ives Ordonez. Diego, what are the steps to get a driver's license in Florida? Got to have a social security number. Got to have a green card. You got to take a drug and alcohol class, which is about, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours long online. You got to pass a test, a road sign test. Then you got to take a test for driving. That's it. Got to have a social security number. Got to have a green card. You got to take a drug and alcohol test. It's an online course, so you know not to drink and drive. You got to pass a sign. You got to know what the road signs are, and you have to take a driver's test, and that's it. That no man, but I cannot support her financially, and we have all the legitimate documents to prove the validity of our relationship. If you can support her financially, you're good. Dad, relax. You're good. Don't worry. I'm going to have a Mountain Dew salute, okay, to Julian, ALO. He was a refugee. He got the heck out of one country, relocated to another country, met a beautiful American, and now he's coming to the USA, and the US government's going to help him. Congratulations. America is a great place to be. It's the land of the free. Right? Dad, you two look cute. Well, Karina does. I don't know about me, but Karina, but most definitely. Julian, yes, Diego, I was scared, but once you told me that I was approved, then I was happy and relaxed. So you went back into chill mode. And when I saw the email, I said Diego was right. There you go. Just relax. Guys, you come hang out with me on this channel, okay? I'm going to tell you that it's either this is going to be a good thing or it's going to be a bad thing. You're going to get approved. You're not going to get approved. I'm not going to tell you stories. I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you any legal advice. I'm a real estate agent, all right? In Florida, licensed in Florida. I don't give any legal advice, but I know this process like the back of my hand. I've got 9 years experience with K1s, green cards, spousal visas, tourist visas. And Julian, put your feet up on the desk, relax, and plan your trip to the United States. Sunglass. Okay, Sunglass. That's a really cool name, but isn't it sunglasses? Isn't it sunglasses? Or is sunglass like a specific thing? Did you ever consider doing a B2 to adjustment of status green card? Why would I want to do a tourist visa for Karina instead of a green card application? She's my wife. She's here in Florida. She lives with me. This is her house. This is our house. Nosotros casa. Why would she want to do a tourist visa? No, I don't understand the question. That's a good question, but I don't understand it. We went through the K1 visa process. We went to the visa interview. We got on a plane, flew to the United States, and then now we're waiting on her green card. I put together a strong green card package for Karina. She signed our form. I signed my form, and we put all the evidence together. And if you have questions on what do you need to put in a green card application, watch the videos I've made, or you can ask me some questions here. Thad Nomad, should I marry my girlfriend in the United States or her home country for fast visa processing? Okay, a K1 visa is more expensive, okay, but it's quicker. A spousal visa is cheaper, and you get your green card a lot quicker, but the time frame is about the same. It's the K1's quicker. The K1 visa is a much easier process. Some folks prefer the spousal visa, the IR1, CR1. Some people prefer the K1. I went through both of them. The K1 visa is the way to go. Karina's here waiting with me. She's hanging out, waiting on her green card. Julian, my recommendation is to go through the K1, marry her in the United States. Julian, ALO, yes, Diego, and thanks for everything. You're welcome. I'm taking also the same drink like you. Mountain Dew salute to Julian. All right. Here waiting for them to ask me to send them my passport and travel documents via DHL. There you go. The U.S. government immigration used DHL as the primary means of courier service. That nomad, what were the questions that the embassy asked you and your wife? Pregunta para ti en embajada Estados Unidos. They asked her 11, 12 questions. They asked her about 12 questions. They asked, how did we develop our relationship? Well, we've been together for almost 3 years. They asked, have I ever been to prison? Well, obviously I haven't, because they have my FBI report on the computer. So that was kind of a redundant question. They asked her, what is my job? What do I do? I'm a real estate agent. They asked her, what's your address in Florida going to be? Where are you going to live? What's your address in Florida? They asked her, have you ever been to the United States before on a tourist visa? Which is, they obviously know the answer to that is no, because they have her record right there in front of her on the computer. She said, no, I've never been to the United States. Number 6, they asked her, do you have any family in the United States of America? She said, no, I got no family here. They asked her, do I have a brother? Yes, I have a brother. They said, what's his name? She gave him she told immigration his name. They asked her, have you ever been denied a visa in the past? She said, no, I've never even applied for a visa before. This is my first one. And that was 9. And there was a couple more. I can't remember what the other 2 were, but they asked her 11, 12 questions, and here she is. Let me see. So those were the questions that nomad, basically, they were. And then they asked her again, how did our relationship develop? Well, how did our relationship develop? We started chatting online for about, 5 or 6 months. Then I flew to Colombia, met with her on a 2-week vacation, stayed for 5 weeks, got her out of this small apartment, put her into a bigger apartment because there was no space for me. I couldn't swing a cat in that room. I went back for a second vacation, stayed for 5 months. Went back for a third time, stayed 11 months. The fifth time, stayed for 3 months. We got a lot of time together. We got 2.5 years together. But we've been together about almost 3 years. Thad Nomad, thank you, man. I cleared so many of my doubts. Yeah, relax, guys. Age difference, an age difference is an issue with immigration only if there's no evidence of a strong relationship. That's the big thing right there. Is it real? Are you guys real? Julian ALO, me, they asked me, where did I meet my fiance? Yep. When did she come to visit me? Yep. They asked Karina that question. How many times did I go to visit Karina in Colombia? She said 4 times, but it was actually 5 times. She said 4 times. Came for 5 weeks. He came for 5 months. He came for 11 months. And came for this time. That, it's a bunch of times. We have a baby together, and he asked, do we have a child together? And I said, yes. Well, that baby needs to be a U.S. citizen. Okay, make sure was the baby born in the United States or in another country? But Julian, ALO, I need to know that. I need an answer to that question. Arif Khan, hello Diego, first time here in live chat. Welcome aboard, Arif Khan. We're glad to have you. Thanks for checking in. I always miss it, but I do watch the recorded videos of this amazing help you provide here to all the beautiful couples out here. We're here for you guys. I don't want to see anybody get left behind. I want to see you all get reunited with your beautiful wives and husbands in the future and start your life in America. This is a great country. It's a great country. We welcome everybody, but you got to come here legally. Don't be sneaking in, okay? Come here legally. We'll help you. The baby was born in the United States. Okay, good. Fat Nomad, where do you live? I live in Florida. I'm planning to move. Currently, I live in New York. My condolences. But want to move somewhere quiet after my girlfriend lives with me. I think real estate is cheaper in Dallas and Houston. That's Texas, not Florida. The real estate is, I'm a real estate agent, and I'll give you some real good advice, okay? Real estate in Dallas and Houston is very cheap. It's very inexpensive. It's a good deal. Real estate in Texas is a great deal, but you're going to get bashed around the head with property taxes. The state of Texas they've got some of the highest property taxes in the United States, like New Jersey, New York, California. Now Texas is a red state, okay, so they're basically a conservative state, but the property taxes are insane. My recommendation is Nevada or Florida, okay, where the property taxes are more manageable. Do you hear what I'm saying? But get out of New York. New York, they tax you like crazy. If you can go to Florida or Texas or Nevada, you won't have to pay state income tax. So if you make $100,000 a year, you're only going to pay tax on your income to the federal government, not to the state. Yeah, Texas is a good choice, that Nomad. I would consider Texas also, but you got to consider the property taxes. You know, a $250,000 home in Texas, you're going to be paying probably $4,000, $5,000 a year in property taxes. Here in Florida, you'd pay probably $1,800, $1,900. In Nevada, you'd be paying $1,800, $1,900. Property taxes in Texas are crazy. You know, I wouldn't mind living in Texas. I got no problem with living there, but it's just too expensive. I don't like giving the government money, okay? The government takes enough money when I go to the store and buy stuff, and then they take money from my federal income, you know, and what do they do with the money? When the federal government takes your taxes, what do they do with the money? They waste it. They blow it on stuff that's not required most of the time. They throw it away. They give it to other countries that don't need it. Arif Khan, we got approved on the 26th of January 2024 and also received our NOA 2 via mail. Our case was sent to the MVC March 5th, 2025. March 5th, 2024, you mean? But we are yet to receive the case number. Can you please comment? March 5th, 2024, March, April, May. Give them till June 5th. On June 5th, 2024, if you haven't received your case number, send an inquiry to the MVC, or even before, June 1st, or the end of May. At the end of May, beginning of June, send an inquiry to the MVC and ask them for your case number. When you send the inquiry, identify your beneficiary by her receipt number on the NOA 2 letter, her passport number, and her full name and date of birth and country. Tat Nomad, I personally hate living in New York. I'm working for Meta as an engineer. I have an option to move to Texas or stay here. Move to Texas. Get out of New York. Get out of that state, okay? Get out. If you're an engineer making all kinds of money, you're getting taxed out. You wouldn't believe how much the state of New York is taking from you. If you can relocate to Texas, you won't pay any income tax. You won't pay any state income tax. You're going to get a massive pay raise. Even if property taxes are high, which they are, you're still going to be ahead by a ton of money. Move to Texas. That's my opinion. Arif Khan, thanks for the warm welcome to our beautiful channel. It's right, Arif. This YouTube channel is for you guys. It's for you. I put it together for you guys, not for us. I already know how to do this. All right? I know how to do this. But there's lots of people that they don't know how to do it. Or they can't afford an immigration attorney, which is a waste of money anyway. You don't need an immigration attorney. So Karina asked me to put the channel together. I was in Villa de Leyva in Colombia with Karina. We were walking around Villa de Leyva in central Colombia, and Karina said, put together a YouTube channel. So I had a cooking channel. Then I had a channel about Colombia. So I deleted all the cooking videos, kept the Colombian videos, and then started the immigration channel for you guys. I do it for you. Not for me. I do it for you. And we can't wait, Arif, for you to get to America. Dad Nomad, I'm making $650,000 a year, and the tax is such a huge pain in the backside. That's correct, Thad Nomad. You make $650,000. You're giving half of that to the state of New York. You're giving the other half to the federal government, and you're left with the chicken leftovers. Get out of New York, move to Texas, and you will be thanking me later on. Okay? You'll be thanking me later on. But wait till you get your beneficiary. Wait till you get married. Get your beneficiary here. And get all that done. Don't be moving in the middle of a green card application. Don't move in the middle of a K-1 visa application. You don't want to confuse immigration. You know, they don't know where are you at. You know, you change your address with the post office. You change your address with immigration, but sometimes it doesn't get updated. And then you can't find your NOA2 letter. Get Thad Nomad. Get all your immigration stuff tied up. Get your beautiful prometida. Get her the green card. And then get the heck out of New York and say, hasta luego. Okay? But if your company offers you a position in Texas while you're still in this immigration process, I would say go ahead and take the job, but make sure you let immigration know exactly where you are so you don't lose any paperwork. Okay? Make sure you don't lose any paperwork. That's my advice to you. I lived in New York in 1982. I lived in Staten Island, okay, and I could see the writing on the wall. The state of New York was slowly turning into a socialist utopia, okay. You know, where the fire chief makes more money than a brain surgeon. It's insane. I lived with my aunt in Staten Island. I said, hey aunt, hey Tia. Take me to the airport. Take me to JFK in Queens. Why? I'm flying to Florida. Why? I'm not living here anymore. Why? Because I don't want to. She drove me to the airport. I flew to Jacksonville, Florida, got on a Greyhound bus, came to Fort Walton Beach in Florida, and got off the Greyhound bus and said, hey, I need a job. You hiring? They said, paint the bathroom and load buses and unload buses, and you got a job. That's what I did. I got the heck out of New York when I was 19 years old. And then I've been in Florida ever since, except when I was in the military. Now, I'm not saying I won't go back to New York for a vacation. I want to take Karina to see the Empire State Building. Karina wants to see New York City. We'll go for, a week's vacation, Central Park, but we'll go on vacation, but I'll never live there. There would, no way. Especially if I was making $650,000 a year. The state of New York love you, man. They're stealing money out of your paycheck every month. Thad Nomad, thank you. That's very insightful. Yeah, Thad, if you get out of New York as soon as you can, but make sure you notify immigration where you are living, your new address, so they don't send the mail to your old address in New York. You don't want that to happen, okay? But if you can get out of the state of New York, I know, I'll even rent the U-Haul for you. Get out of there. And thanks to Larry for the Mountain Dew. Larry, he gifted us, I think he gifted us about, 18 Mountain Dew, something like that. 24. So I got a closet full of Mountain Dew thanks to Larry, our Marine friend. And he got his NOA2 approved, and his beneficiary is in Thailand. Okay, guys, come on. Throw some questions at me. I'm saving Thad from New York. I got Arif doing good. I got him figured out. Thad Nomad. I also want to get a prenuptial agreement, but I don't know if that would interfere with the visa interview. Don't do that. Don't do that. Wait until you're in the United States and she's here in America and apply for the green card, then do the prenup. If you want to do that, don't do that till she has her green card application on the way to the lockbox. I don't know which part you live in. New York, right? If you live in New York, then you're going to be I'll tell you where you're going to mail your green card application to. If you live in New York, you live in New York City or New York State. Where do you live? You're going to mail your green card application to Chicago. If you live in New York City, you're going to mail it to Chicago. So it's close. New York City. Oh, man. What is it, like $50 for a Big Mac and fries in New York City? How much is a gallon of gas? How much does it cost to go over the Verrazano Narrows Bridge? Is there a toll? Is there a toll bridge to go into New York City, to leave New York, to go across the Verrazano Narrows Bridge? I bet that's some ridiculous price. Antonio Clark, just sending you well wishes and thank you for helping me and my fiance. You're welcome. We got married on April 5th in Annapolis, Maryland. That's a Navy town right there. Then we will start her green card application. I'm sure you will hear from me. Ha ha. Antonio. So you live, where do you live? You live in Maryland, right? Is that where you live, in Maryland? You live in Maryland. Or you just got married in Maryland. Where do you live at? Because if you live in Maryland, I'm trying to figure out where you're going to send your green card application to. I can't find it on here. It's got to be on here somewhere. But if you live in Maryland, it's not on this list. It's not on this list. Man, I don't know. Maryland. Oh, if you live in Maryland, you send your you mail your green card application to the Carroll Stream, Illinois. Okay, Elgin, Illinois. It's Elgin, the USCIS Elgin lockbox in Carroll Stream, Illinois. That's where you mail your green card application to. South Carolina, Stephen Baldwin, South Carolina. Where do I send my green card application to? Okay, I will tell you. You send it, if you live in South Carolina, you send your green card application to Chicago. You go to Chicago. That nomad, is it very expensive? The rent is crazy for a condo. Forget alone a house. Yeah, New York City is like, what is it, $5,000 to rent a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment, $5,000 a month, something like that. How do people live? How can they afford to live there? I don't even know how they do it. Fat Nomad, you leaving New York was the best decision. Oh yeah, I left New York 1982. I got out, I was 19. I lived in Staten Island with my aunt, my tia. And Staten Island was a McDonald's down the road, and I used to run down to the McDonald's for my breakfast, and it was like what, $1.20 for a big breakfast, $1.25. Now how much does it cost for a hamburger in New York City? Was it $30, $40 for a hamburger? It's insane. I got the heck out of New York, and I went back about 3 more times on vacation. I'm going to take Karina to New York City on vacation, but right now we're just waiting on a green card. Okay, that's all we're waiting on. We mailed it in on February 29th, February 29. Okay, February 29th, I mailed in her green card application. Well, she paid for it. It's on her credit card, right? And we got a text message 5 days later with the receipt number, plus a receipt number for her work permit. So when you send in your green card right now, if you apply for your EAD, Employment Authorization Document, you can apply from both at the same time. Right now, the EAD document is free. Okay? So you get your EAD document first, and then you get your green card second. I recommend applying for it because it's free, no other reason. But on April 1st, starting April 1st, 2024, you have to pay, you're going to have to pay for your employment authorization document. But right now, it's no charge. Fat Nomad, how long did it take for you to bring your wife to the United States of America? 22 months. 22 months. We had to wait for COVID. We had to wait for embassies to open up. We had to wait for the Bogota embassy to reopen because of COVID. We had to get through the backlog. There was a backlog of 350,000 people, something like that. We had to get through the backlog. We had to get through the COVID. So it took 22 months. But now it's taken probably about 12 to 13 months, 14 months total for everything. Jason Mabry. Hello, Diego and Karina. Now working with the Senator Ted Cruz to get Ghana in gear. Jason, you did what I'm glad you listened to me. You did good. Senator Ted Cruz, okay, he's in Texas. Okay, I've met him. I'm not personally friends with him, but I know Ted Cruz, and he will definitely help you. He'll initiate an investigation on the embassy because, Ghana shouldn't take 6 months to get a visa interview. That's there's no reason for that at all. So they're lazy. They're just lazy people. They go, we'll get to it when we get to it. Mañana. No, get an investigation going. Thad Nomad, did you marry in the United States or Colombia? Well, Colombia, the way you spelled Colombia in the live stream is in South Carolina. Columbia is the capital of South Carolina, Columbia. Colombia is in South Carolina. But Colombia, the country, is in South America, and that's Colombia. Never, ever spell Colombia with a U. You're going to get beat up if you do that by Colombians. We got married in Florida. That's a great question for that. We got married in Colombia. We got married in Florida on the beach, in Navarre Beach. Beautiful day, no clouds in the sky, January 14th, 2024. You know, there's lots of days I never forget. You know, like May 1st, 2021. May 14th, 2021. August 27th, 2022. January 14th, 2024. These are dates I never forget. January 3rd, 2024. Karina's on a plane with me flying to America. You know, these are good days. These are days of good memories for us. Nosotros memoria muy bien. Okay? There's mucho. And today we're here. I got the window open. I don't know if you can hear the birds chirping in the yard, but you know, Tokyo, our cat seems to have calmed down. He was getting pretty antsy because I'm doing a live stream and not playing with him. Well, he just heard me say his name. Now he's talking again. Yeah, we got married in the Florida, That Nomad, and it was a fantastic day. And then we had a big wedding reception lunch at a Mexican restaurant in Navarre, Florida. It was awesome. I said, if you show up to our wedding, you get a free lunch. So that made sure we had lots of people at the wedding, right? So everybody showed up, and then we had a great day. We had a translator. Brenda is from Venezuela. She's our translator. She translated the wedding for Karina, and she signed off as the translator for her documents, because Karina can't read or write English or read English, but she's learning. Karina is very intelligent, muy inteligente, and she's learning quickly. Okay? She's learning how to drive too. She's doing fantastic. She's getting used to living in America. Jason Mabry, I'm still unsure if I should just follow the instructions from Ghana to wait for the medical exam after my fiance interview, or just get it done once scheduled for the interview. I would get it done. Get it done. Okay? Get it. Once you schedule the visa interview, get your beneficiary in there and get her medical exam done. Because if you have to wait until after the visa interview, then you're going to go into a 221G administrative hold while the embassy in Ghana waits for the medical exam. My recommendation is get the medical exam done before you do the visa interview. Okay? About 10 days before the visa interview. That's what I would do. Then that will save you. One or two things will happen. I don't know what the policy is in Ghana. Either they give your beneficiary the medical exam to take to the embassy interview, or do they mail it? I don't know. Find out what that policy is. Ren S is speaking German. Welcome. Now, Ren S lives in Texas, and she's trying to get an appointment in Ghana also. All right. That Nomad, were your families okay with the age gap thing? It's not their. It's not. I couldn't care less if they were okay with it or not. It's not. It's none of their business. Mine are old enough to care. However, her family doesn't like me. Who cares? Don't worry about it. But who cares? That's what I just said, right? We are both good together, and that's what matters. There you go. I couldn't care less what anybody else thinks about the age gap, or Karina's being from Venezuela, or I'm lived in New York, and I lived in here, and I was in the military. I don't care. Okay? Other people's opinions, the only opinions that are important to me are opinions that are positive and uplift and are supportive. You know, if somebody has a problem with an age gap or whatever, just laugh at them. You know, they're just jealous because you couldn't find a beautiful wife, right? That's what it is. Don't worry about it. Just laugh at them. And Ren S has reached out to Ted Cruz's office. Well, you can reach out. They require me to fill out forms and scan the email. That's right. You have to sign a document, Ren-S, that gives the U.S. Senator permission to talk to immigration about your case, because your case is classified information. It's top secret. It's private. Your immigration paperwork is private. Okay. And in order, immigration will not talk to anybody about your immigration process. They won't give any information out unless you sign a release document. So if Senator Ted Cruz is going to help you, which he will, he's going to help you. Okay. I know Ted Cruz. He's going to help you. He's going to have you sign a form releasing your permission. You're given his office permission to speak to immigration. Immigration is going to want to see that scan. You sign the form, the release document. Senator Ted Cruz's office will fax it to immigration. Immigration will see it, and then they will then talk to your senator about your case. They won't do it unless you give them permission. Jason Fagana says you can apply, get medical once you have proof of visa appointment. Okay, so once you get proof of the visa appointment in Ghana, then you go ahead and apply for the medical exam. Makes sense to me. That's perfectly good information. Ren-S, you gave some excellent advice right there. Ren-S, good job. If I could send you a super chat, I will, but I can't. That's good. That's good information right there. That nomad, exactly. All my friends ask me, how did I manage to get someone as young and beautiful as her? It's usually jealousy. Yeah, they're jealousy. They're jealous, disguised as judgmental comments. Yeah, they're jealous, man. Look at Karina. Look how beautiful she looks. Now, I have Karina is my eternal companion. Okay, we couldn't care less what anybody else says. We don't care. Okay, and Karina, she got all of her friends in Colombia, Venezuela, and Brazil, and Uruguay now. Okay, she got family and friends all over South America, right? And they love us to death. They never said a bad word against anybody. They're all good people. Now, if the criticism is going to come probably from Americans, the judgmental American. Okay, have a nice life. But I scratched his name off my Christmas card list. Boy, it just saved me 50 cents on a stamp and $3 for a card. Let me see. Yeah, Thad, relax. Yeah, just laugh at him, Thad. Just laugh. I laugh at him all the time. Jason, yes, you have to bring the proof of appointments to the medical exam. There you go. Ren-S, as on Ghana, U.S. Embassy website, it said you need proof of interview before you can get a medical. There you go. Thad Nomad, Karina is drop dead gorgeous. She is muy hermosa. And wish you both the very best. Well, thank you, Thad. We wish you the same. I'll give Thad Nomad a Mountain Dew salute for those kind, positive comments. And my advice to everybody, right, watching this, it's like my friend is a doctor, and he's from Brooklyn, New York. He moved to Florida, then he moved to California, now he's back in Brooklyn. He's 70 years old. His wife's 32. She's from Medellin, Colombia. They couldn't care less about the age gap. And they got 2 kids. They got a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old. All right? Age is not a problem. You love each other. You be together. You get married, right? Let me see. Furious Ram. Hello, Diego. I wanted to know how long it took you to get Karina's social security number. 10 days. It took 10 days. 10 days? Mm-hmm. 10 days. Ren-S, I have stopped doing anything as since Ghana Embassy ain't doing right by my case. Ren-S, you need to sign that release form. Get Senator Ted Cruz to help you. That'll be 2 people in Texas. Senator Ted Cruz is going to get 2 letters, two people, okay, complaining to Ted Cruz about Ghana. That's powerful right there. Jason Mabry, Ren-S, I have faith that Ted Cruz will help. He will. Jason, I know Ted Cruz, okay? I know Ted Cruz. Not personally, we don't go and eat lunch together, but I know Ted Cruz. And he will definitely help you. Okay? He will help you. Okay, guys, I've been talking for almost an hour. I'm going to go and hang out with Karina in the backyard. I think Tokyo wants to play with us and hang out with us. But hold on, Shiko just jumped on the live stream. Now I'm going to help Shiko, okay? Hi, Diego. I'm depending on you for my daughter. If you do what I say, Shiko, if you listen to what I say to you, you'll be good. You submitted the DS-160 for your daughter, right? And printed the confirmation page, right? You did that, right? You paid the $265 visa fee to the embassy, right? And they accepted the payment, right? So the U.S. Embassy know that you have a DS-160 for your daughter. You've paid her visa fee, right? You've done all that. Now what you got to do, yes, I did, Diego. I paid the visa fees. Now what you got to do is make sure you just send an email to the embassy and say, please add my daughter to the list of appointments. But she's going to be added anyway because she's a K2 derivative piggybacking off the back of the K1. All right. We got more folks jumping on here. Kamir 1. Hello, Diego and Karina. Kamir 1. Now, you're a beneficiary. Aren't you in? Wasn't she from Cambodia? Isn't she from Cambodia? She's from Cambodia, right? You guys in America? I think you guys are in the USA now. Catch me up on Khmer. I can't remember. I remember, but I'm trying to remember. All right, guys. We're going to log off now. Karina wants to hang out in the garden, play with the cat, spend time, and then we're going to go for a walk. And we will be back for another live stream. What's today? Today's Thursday. We'll see you guys on Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Time, U.S. Shiku, and now I can't get the embassy. Really difficult to contact the embassy. I understand. Ren S. Senator Cruz is not a lazy senator, Ren S. I know Senator Ted Cruz. He is not lazy. He's not lazy. So you need to take that back because he works very hard. Okay? He's a hard-working senator. He does a great job for Texas. See you guys on Saturday, 6 p.m.